What is going on, guys? Welcome to another video on this channel. First of all, thank you so much that you decided to click on this video. It means the world to me. If you are new here, this channel is built on one single foundation, and that is to help you become the best version of yourself. So if that sounds good to you, keep watching, man. So today I want to talk about reason why men are weaker than ever. But one thing to note, guys, I will begin from the things that are not that bad, right? That can be repaired overnight, to the things that are worst. So let's begin with the first reason why men are weaker than ever, and that is simply that we are drinking junk stuff, right? We are eating junk food, and in general we are not being healthy. Because guys, if you are not working out, right, if you're not healthy on the outside, right, if we are not doing some physical activity, right, it doesn't need to be, right, going into the gym. It can be something as playing football, hockey, rugby, running, bicycle, as I said, whatever, but you just need to do some physical activity, right? And if you're not doing that, you're not healthy on the outside. And guys, this is the biggest problem of today's society, right? Because every single person that you meet, outside, most likely, they are fat, right? They are, kind of moderately to heavily obese, right? They might have diabetes, right? Simply, we are just, as I said, we are drinking, Coca-Colas, right? We are drinking Pepsi, Sprite, and all these shits, right? And we are also filling our body with, hamburgers, fries, and all these, greasy foods, right? And thus we are not healthy. But also people just tend to forget about their physical fitness, right? Being healthy on the inside, but also on the outside, right? So, going into the gym, for example, running, bicycle, rugby, football, hockey, there are 10,000 different things that you can do, right? And with those things you can improve your physical fitness, right? You can improve your well-being on the outside, right? And people just forgot about this thing. It's crazy. Because for example, if you're going into the gym, right, you're working on your muscles, right? That's why you're going into the gym, right? That's why most people are going to the gym, to have muscles and look good, right? And that's what I mean by being healthy on the outside. And when you combine not being healthy on the inside and also not being healthy on the outside, not doing any form of physical activity, man, it will crush you. As I said, you will not be happy with yourself because you will be maybe moderately to maybe heavily obese. You will also maybe get diabetes from that. You will have some heart problems. Overall, you will feel like shit. And as I said, guys, when you combine these two bad things, it's critical. And as a man, your main driver is testosterone, right? It's basically your partner in crime, right? It's basically your brother. So you need to treat it well, right? And treating it well, I really mean, working on your physical fitness, as I said, being healthy on the inside, but also on the outside. But if you're not doing anything like that, right? If you're not being healthy, your testosterone will drop down like crazy. And thus, you will be less manlier. And if you're less manlier and you have lower levels of testosterone, sometimes even below the average, you will have no motivation, no drive, and you will not do anything for your goals, right? Because you have no goals, because you have no vision, no drive, and etc. And thus, you will feel like you're not good enough, right? You will feel like you're worthless. In general, you will not live a happy life. And I know, guys, convincing yourself to eat healthy, it's not easy. I know that from my own personal experience. For example, in the primal ages, right? If we are hungry, we would need to go on a hunt, right? And that costs some energy to hunt some animals down, right? But nowadays, it's just so easy to eat junk food, right? Pizza, hamburgers, as I said, because it's so easily accessible. You can do few clicks online and order some food. But guys, you need to think long term, right? Yes, in a moment, in a second, it might feel good, to have some, vodka and juice, right? To have some beer with your friends, right? To eat, fries and hamburgers, right? Yes, in a moment that feels good because your body releases dopamine, right? But in a long term, guys, do you want to live, unsatisfied life, right? Do you want to be, unhappy, unmotivated? Of course, no. So stop eating junk food and start eating clean. And the second reason why men are weaker than ever, and I kinda said this thing before, that everything is basically so easily accessible, and thus we are being too comfortable. This is the biggest problem that I really see nowadays, right? That everything is just so easily accessible, right? Because for example, as I said, ordering some food online, right? Why would I eat healthy if I can, click on that great looking button that says, order pizza, right? So I have no reason, to eat healthy, right? Because, I don't want to push myself outside of my comfort zone, and start eating healthy, right? Because it takes a decision, right? You need to make, a strict decision like, hey man, no drinking, on Friday nights, no pizza, no hamburgers, right? I want to live a happy life, I will eat clean. And most people will not do that, as I said, because it takes a decision, and that is hard, and that is pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, right? But if you will never push yourself outside of that zone, sooner or later you will also feel like you're not good enough, right? And many people use this beautiful quote, right? You can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? And that's a BS. Because if you will not try anything new, right? If you will go on the same path, if you will run like a hamster in a wheel, right? Spinning in the wheel 24/7 your whole life, doing the same thing over and over again, as I said, thus you will feel like you're not good enough, right? Your life is boring, right? Because you didn't push yourself outside your comfort zone. You didn't try anything new. And the third reason why men are weaker than ever, and guys, this is the biggest problem. This is the biggest reason why men will be weaker and weaker every single day. And sadly, I think it will continue down in that path, right? And that is simply excessively watching porn and excessively masturbating. So right now, guys, I will tell you why it's so critical, right? Why it will completely crush you when you are watching porn, you are excessively doing that thing to yourself. Because when you are watching porn, right, you can basically have an unlimited amount of sex, right? It's crazy. But if you are doing some, action with a real girl, right, you will have, for example, one action a day, right? But if you are watching porn, you can have basically, 10 or 15 different girlfriends a day. It's crazy. So you will have basically unlimited amounts of sex, right? And when you watch porn, guys, your brain does one thing, and that one thing is simply releasing dopamine, right? And dopamine is kind of that, happy hormone, right? When your brain does that, right? When your brain releases that hormone, you feel, you're like in heaven. It feels so good, right? And you will do that thing to yourself, right? And you will watch porn. But like if you're fapping, guys, and you're watching this, you know how you feel after, right? Just in a moment you feel like you're in heaven. But after that, right, you feel, kind of guilty, right? You feel like you're not good enough and you feel kind of miserable. But the biggest problem, guys, of watching too much porn and doing that thing to yourself too much, right, is that when your brain releases dopamine, that hormone is addictive, right? So for example, if you fapped once yesterday and if you watched one adult movie, for example, to get that same level of happiness, right, to get that same level, like you feel like you're in heaven, right now, today, you need to do more because your brain is used to that level of dopamine, right? So to get that same stimulation, you, instead of one fap and one movie, you need to watch 2 movies and fap twice. And again, it's like a hamster in a wheel. The more the hamster runs, the more the wheel spins, right? And it's same with the porn. The more you watch it and the more you fap, the more your brain wants. And that's why I think, guys, fapping and watching porn is that dangerous, right? Because it's so addictive, right? Because yes, you might, feel like, oh, I will maybe watch only one movie, right? But again, if you will watch it, your brain releases dopamine and you feel good, right? So you feel like, oh, maybe one more movie. And then day after, oh, maybe, 2 more movies, right? And slowly but surely, you will get more and more addicted and you will get more caught up, right? In the trap, like as I said, like a hamster in a wheel. And guys, some people are saying that it's even harder than stop taking drugs, right? getting off of the porn, right? Stop fapping and stop watching porn is even harder than stop taking drugs. Why? Simply because if you want to take drugs, right, you need to go, on some street and buy drugs. But porn is so easily accessible, and I really mean it. You can maybe watch, unlimited amounts of movies for free. And that's why I think also, guys, porn should be, restricted somehow, right? Because as I said, it's so easily accessible. It's easy, because you can, type, few words, right? And it will appear, right, that, that very famous, name of the brand, right? Of the adult movie brand, right? And sometimes, guys, even, 11-year kids, right, they will, start watching porn, and, until they're like 17, 18, they are still watching it, right? They will get more and more addicted, and that's why I think it should be more restricted. Because think about it, if you want to play, for example, Call of Duty, right, you need to, go and pay for that game, right? And it's only game. But if you want to watch porn, right, you can easily do few clicks, as I said, and you can watch some porn movies, right? You can watch some adult movies. But the thing is that it's addictive, right? It's crazy. You need to pay for some game that you will just enjoy, your time playing it. But you can, do it for free, watch porn, right? And get addicted. It's crazy. And guys, I'm sorry if this video is getting really long, but I simply feel like this is a very important thing. I feel like this is a topic that needs to be addressed. And that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, smash the thumbs up button. Also comment down below where you're from, because I'm curious my audience is from. If you feel generous, click the subscribe button. Also click the bell right next to it so you'll never miss any video from me. Stay relentless.